Hello,
Hiya.
everyone. Welcome to Lucius. This is like halfway through the game, by the way. I've already started playing
Welcome to the cum zone.
But you don't care. This is just nice. Okay, I'm trying to remember how to do everything. We're back.
Just waffling over.
Yeah, it's waffling. That's the word. I'm trying to remember how to do shit. I'm probably going to be really slow.
Not in the game, just in the podcast in general.
Just in general, yeah. It's been a while. We've been doing live stuff, so we had a break.
I thought you said live stuff. I was like, no, that's the whole point. We haven't been doing live stuff.
No,
We've been doing live stuff.
We did. Yes, that's right. Can I pick up the ball? Do I need my telekinesis or something? I don't want the map. Oh, okay. I've worked out how to do it. No, I don't. I need to look at the controls.
Yeah, you got to avoid those maps.
Yeah, they're disgusting. They're disgusting. Okay, I have no idea how to pick anything up, so I'm just going to doss about.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played Lucius, so I'm not much help either.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I'm carrying this bouncy ball.
Just hit all the buttons, see what happens. I believe.
Yeah. So it's Spooky Month. We thought it's a really good time to come back for Spooky Month.
Yeah.
Because we like spooks.
We haven't had enough spoofs with the way life's been, and then not being able to actually go into each other's houses anymore again.
Yeah, that's the funny
Pandemic time.
Because we're in York, and York's just being like, oh no, the council leader was like, no, we don't need house mixing. No more house mixing. Okay. So like we've had a few garden sessions, haven't we, where we've watched movies, but can't do that anymore.
None of that.
None of that. No, it's all done. But I'm in my new house and I've got a new setup, so I'm very comfortable. So we thought, fuck it, let's get back on it, and we're gonna start talking about some spooky stuff this week.
Yes, we got a few things streamed. We watched live streamed straight without words. We streamed some movies.
Oh my god,
That's basically what I meant.
Oh, I think my mum just like fucking crept up on me. That scared the shit out of me. She's not even like a. You're supposed to be the scary one in this game. She just fucking stop walking behind me, you bitch.
Oh, I thought you meant in real life.
No.
I was like, why are you being so harsh to your mum? Jesus Christ.
I must speak to your father about the handyman. Okay.
Mum's banging the handyman.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to talk about some spooky stuff. We have some spooky game bites and the works too.
We do. One of them should be coming out soonish.
Yeah.
Maybe.
The one I've edited is done, so that can...
Yeah, stick it on.
Yeah. Well, probably the next week.
Do it.
Don't make me remind you again.
I'll go brush my teeth, you bitch. If I could work out how to run faster.
This time it is your real mum.
Oh, I worked out to run faster, that's good. I can't remember what chapter I got to. I don't know who I'm supposed to kill in this one. I think it's the handyman.
Is it the piano bit?
Yeah, I remember like playing it, I couldn't remember how to do it.
Yeah, it's a weird one.
Do you remember? You got distracted to go to the piano, but I think you got like booby trapped the piano.
I think it's something to do with cigarettes.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
I'll have an explore.
Or whiskey, or something like that. They're all kind of blended together in my head. It's been a while since I played it.
Yeah, I watched PewDiePie play it back in the day. I never actually played it myself properly.
Ooh, it's a good one. What would you like to talk about first?
Well, we have two big movies we're going to talk about today, but we've watched like lots of little horror movies in between, like ages ago, so we probably couldn't like give you a full recount, like to a lot of depth because it's time to remember everything and all that. But we thought we'd go through those movies first a little bit, talk about them briefly, and then go on to the big two we watched recently. So,
Big two.
Host. One of the ones.
Host was a good one-ish.
Yeah, it was. It was
a lot better than it had any right to be.
Yes.
Put it that way.
It was better than Unfriended, without a doubt.
We expected nothing, and we were given a lot.
Yeah, it was a movie that was made in COVID as well, which was fun. It's quite a neat little thing. I think that would probably there would be an issue in terms of rewatchability, and the fact it's COVID, But
yeah, because it does actually have the pandemic as a backdrop.
Yeah,
it's not just made during COVID. Like thematically, the characters are in lockdown.
Yeah, but it works. Yeah.
It definitely works, but like you said, I'm not sure whether that'll hold up as much. I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know how much any people will remember this year. Like, it's been such a strange thing. Like, very little to this significance has happened in our lifetimes outside of, like, wars and tragedies.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess this kind of falls into the latter, but not like a medical plague that's affected how everybody lives their life world round. So how much people are going to remember this is just anyone's guess, I suppose.
Yeah. But
stop making a hissing noise, you bastard. You utter bastard.
Sorry for making a hissing noise.
Oh, you're not a spider.
Did you tell? I can't remember if you told Thing you're playing Minecraft in the background.
I think so, but that might have been on the fail
first
bit
attempt to me trying. Yeah.
If not, I'm playing Minecraft in the background, and there's a spider behind me going constantly. It's very fun. Turn my audio down, but that would just be admitting defeat.
He's asleep. How do I? The handyman is asleep on the floor. He's drunk. Look, his to-do list. Can I see it?
Put him in plastic.
Can I see? Notebook update.
Put him in the percolator.
Put him in the percolator. Chores. I need to brush my teeth. What can I just fucking...
You wouldn't believe this. There's a handyman in the percolator.
I've stolen a wrench. Maybe I should break something. Okay, I should get him here somehow. Okay. Alright. Well, he's asleep, so do I need to, like, flush the toilet to scare him or something? Do I shit on him? Anyway.
He just shits himself. Oh my god!
Well, he's awake, he's awake. Anyway, yeah, it was a decent film. So it was, like, recorded on Zoom. I think it was like an hour long, like, which was interesting.
Yes, it was a shorty.
So it wasn't even, like, feature length, but it felt like a feature length film, like a short feature length. Which I respect.
Did you remember to brush your teeth? Don't make me.
Oh, I didn't brush my teeth, and I should get annoyed. Well, I'd love to brush my teeth, but the fucking handyman's drunk in there, pissing himself.
Oh, I don't think this is the piano one, is it?
It is the piano one, yeah.
Is it?
I've sabotaged the piano, yeah.
Okay.
But he won't move, so I don't know. Do I get some whiskey or something? Yeah. I'll try and lure him with some whiskey. Anyway, yeah, I really liked it. I don't think it's perfect. Like I said, I think it's very derivative, but and it has some flaws. But I just liked the creativeness in it and how they did it in COVID.
Yeah, it's weird because it's very derivative, but at the same time, it's better than what it's derivative of.
Yes, yeah, I agree.
Which is odd.
But it was. I really enjoyed it. It was fun. Oh, I've got to write... Oh, okay, fix the piano. I get it. But he's going to get crushed. He has no idea.
Epic. Crushing the guy. Prank. Super prank.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we're going for these briefly. So what would you give host if you...
I would give it... I'm going to say a strong 6 respectively.
Me too.
Let's go with that.
Me too.
It's nothing super special, but it's quite innovative in itself. It has a lot of can't speak today. A lot of innovative ways of getting scares, and I'm not usually a fan of jump scares, but they're done in ways that aren't just cheap.
Yeah.
In the first half more than the second, it kind of loses itself a bit in the second, which is sad. But not like horrendously, not to the point of being utter garbage, but I think it just rushes a bit near the end.
Yeah. I would agree.
So that's my diagnosis, Doc.
Hold on. Is he fixing it? He's fucking fixed it.
Remember when we were doctors? I remember.
Do I throw a hammer on him? I'm really confused.
That's what I mean. I don't think it is the piano one. I think it's a different one.
Well, the piano, he's underneath the piano now.
Okay, maybe you don't use telekinesis?
Oh, maybe. I forgot to. How do I do it? How do I do it? I mean, he's just working on it, so I guess he's not going to move, so I have time to figure this out.
Fuck him up, bro.
No, I don't want to use my flashlight. Oh, the mum's watching. Fuck off. Fuck off. Bitch.
Again, it's just your man watching you record Skype. having fun with your friends? Fuck off.
Ah, I can't get off this menu. Go
I'm
away.
a YouTuber now, Mum. Fuck off.
Ah! Okay, this is really annoying me. I'm trying to get used to controls. Yeah, so I guess another one we watched was Spree, which is about Joe Keery as an Uber driver. Well, sort of an Uber, it's called Spree Driver, and he kills people on live stream while he's driving, doing his job. So he kills his passengers and shit. Because he wants to be internet famous.
Internet clout.
Yeah, which is a good way of describing it, I guess. And like that.
Yeah, it's a decent parody of modern internet culture, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bit satire. I liked it a lot more than you did, but we liked a lot of the same aspects as well. Like Joe Keery's great.
Yeah, we both like the same things. It definitely has a lot to recommend. It's the same kind of thing. I'm not sure about the rewatchability of it, but it definitely is probably worth watching just to see. It's something a bit different, I suppose, which is all we can ask for in these bland times.
Yeah, it was very entertaining. Just like there's just so many bits where he's like looking at the cameras as his customers are getting into the car, and it's just he just gives these like really funny looks. Like, he's a really good actor. He needs to be in more stuff that's just not fucking Stranger Things. Because he's got some good
I wouldn't
shots.
mind. I think we said it when we were watching it, but I was like, I wouldn't mind him doing like the Elijah Wood kind of path of just going into weird indie horrors.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty decent. I get what you're saying about the rewatchability. I'd probably watch it again, but I don't think I'd watch it like... At the same time, it's not something I'd be like crazy to watch again, but I would watch it again.
Fears.
I thought it was pretty good. I'd give it like a 7 or an 8. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I was looking at my 2020 list so far on Letterboxd. I'm like, there's some shit maybe I liked or disliked a bit too much, but now I'm like, I've no opinion, so... I always kind of evaluate that at the end of the year anyway, so... Yeah. What else? Oh, After. We watched After. Oh no, why do I keep calling it After? I just keep doing that, sorry.
Yeah, you did that last time.
Yeah, it's Alive. It's Alive. After's a fan fiction.
It's alive.
Yeah.
I don't know if... I'm already lost on what we talked about. Did we mention on this stream that we've already done this once, or was that on the last stream?
Yeah, it was on the last one. We should probably preface that too.
Yeah, because I just said, you did that last time. And they were like, what do you mean last time?
Well, we recorded a podcast last week, but then both our
Technology doesn't like us.
Essentially, yeah.
I was like, wait, I should check my mic, and then I was like, oh wait, we're recording on your end, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still don't understand what happened last week, because you could literally hear me.
Yeah, I know, it's strange, isn't it?
And then, when I looked at the footage I'd recorded on my end, my audio was completely silent. Even though my computer was clearly registering the audio for you to be able to hear me. Brain hurt. Jeez.
Yeah, it's really weird. But... oh well.
Such a laugh.
Oh, I did it, I killed him. It took a long time, but I did it. But yeah, I'm not calling it After. Alive.
Alive.
It was really good.
I really liked it. It was a little, kind of low-key indie. I don't know if it was indie. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it was a low-key Korean horror, South Korean horror.
Yeah.
Zombie flick, but in a way that was kind of like more interesting than the usual, I guess.
Yeah. But yes, it was a very charming zombie film. And I liked the messaging. Although I said this to you last week, I was like, I really liked the messaging. That it is essentially, well, it wasn't really messaging. It was like, how social media is actually quite good because it helps the army find, the survivors and stuff by them posting online. But it's only kind of like demonstrated at the end properly that this was the crack. Like there's bits where the main character is actually like he's online and he's speaking to people. It's like, I'm surviving and stuff, but it only happens to me like once or twice. And so I was like, I wish they maybe like went into the messaging a bit more. But even then, I quite liked the ending. When we were watching it, I was like, this is quite wholesome and cool.
Yeah, it's strange because like I didn't feel like that was a big preachy point or anything.
No, it wasn't. That's the thing. It wasn't even like
But-
preachy. It was more just like
No, that's what I mean. It didn't
Yeah.
feel like it was pushed to the forefront, is what I'm saying. Not like
yeah. Oh, okay,
preachy
right,
in
yeah.
the. So it was interesting at the end where they were like, "Oh, that's what it was about," and I was like, "Wait, was it? Okay."
Hmm.
Like, okay. I
Yeah.
think we both liked it, regardless.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
But it was
like I
weird
said-
that I was like, I didn't even think that was really the point so much.
And I liked the idea and the concept of, oh, you know, it's quite a wholesome little thing. Like, oh yeah, you know, these people, getting found using social media. Social media's not all that bad. 'Cause people just
you
think
remember
it's...
to brush your
I didn't brush my teeth.
Don't
You
make
fuck
me
off.
remind you again.
And
Anyway.
they were #alive.
Yeah, because that was because the film's called #Alive. It's not just Alive, it's #Alive. So that makes more sense when you watch it. Like, oh, I get why it's called that now.
And that's kind of the thing at the ending, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Very simple, which is good, I suppose. It's nice to have something quite small scale. I like that they only filmed it like in this one sort of area. Okay. Insert
bless you.
sneezing JPEG. Oh, there's a floating... Is it like a pack of cigarettes? Oh no, it's just a weird texture.
Hello there,
Tell
little
it to no.
fella. I have a job for you.
Not.
I need some gasoline for my lawn.
Did it stop?
Can you get me some?
Oh, I've got to get gasoline for Antonio. Okay. I won't burn you alive.
Like, it sounds like a mafia game instead of.
Just a bit
Need to
out
go
of
get some
context.
gasoline for Antonio.
Yeah, I would give it probably a... I don't know, actually.
Out of 10.
Yes. Probably an 8? I'd say? Yeah, give it 7 or an 8, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say strong 7.
Strong 7, yeah.
We're on a harsh today.
Yeah. Yeah, was there any other horror movies we watched? Like, there weren't the big two that we're going to talk about today? I can't remember. Like, we watched a lot of movies in our break, so I... Oh, there's Swallow.
Oh yeah,
Which is
Swallow's
more
one.
of like a
with...
psychological thriller about a lady who...
Kind of framed like a bit of a psychological horror, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's about a woman who eats things, or she swallows things.
The thing.
Yeah. And it's kind of like about why there's a past trauma and all that. And I liked it. I think we both liked it.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed at where it went. It felt like it had a lot more potential than execution, but I didn't think it was terrible by any means. I was just I was like, they could have done a lot with that, but it feels like at the end they just kind of go, oh, well, she's moving on now.
Yeah.
And it's like, spoilers, but it's kind of strange because it doesn't feel resolved. It just feels like the movie decided to end, and it's like, oh
Yeah.
that was it? Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, it was a little weird
Like,
in that
I'm
way.
happy with the idea of that ending, but I felt like it needed at least another scene of like some kind of internal, dialogue in herself to get to that place.
Yeah.
It seemed like she just went from, my god, everything in my life was falling apart, to, well, I just had a miscarriage, so credits now, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, was it just meant to be symbolic, or I don't know. Just felt like we could have done it a little bit more at the end, personally.
Also, the guy who her fiance hired to like watch her, make sure she wasn't swallowing anything. Like, just was like he was guarding the whole film, and then like the end where like they were going to take her to like rehabilitation, he's like, actually, no, I'm going to help her get away, even though that's not been part of his character the entire film.
Yeah, he never shows any signs of like being emotionally
Yeah.
coercible.
It was really
But then he's
fucking
just
weird.
like, I find your plight sad. Go swallow things and kill yourself, young one.
It was so
That's the
fucking
stupid
strange.
part, is she is swallowing things that are killing her.
Yeah.
And then he frees her because he cares about her, I guess.
Yeah.
But he knows that if she's free, she'll swallow more things and die. So I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. It was odd.
Or
that was
caring
odd.
about someone means.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was just totally out of character. But woeist us, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it was Okay.
It was pretty okay.
Mm-hmm. I've got
I
your
haven't seen a YMS review in a while.
No, I watched... No, I haven't actually.
I'm sure he's still going, I just haven't seen a notification pop up in a while for some reason.
Yeah. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. Oh, there's a map. There's a fucking map, of course.
He was at a recent EFAP, wasn't he? I haven't seen that yet either.
I don't know. Maybe. Haven't watched
Adam,
it.
what you doing, man? Come back to it.
I guess we'll talk about our 2 movies we watched this week. Because we did watch some movies. We watched... Well, I guess we'll just start with the first one. Wolf of Snow Hollow by Jim Cummings.
I was only quiet because I was trying to remember what the fuck the second movie was, and I was finally clicked. I was like, oh, Nocturne, right, yeah. I was like, wait, what the fuck was the other thing? Yeah, Nocturne did not leave a big impact on me, apparently.
No.
Yeah, should we do... I don't know, do you want to do Nocturne first? Because I feel like we probably have more to say about Snow Hollow.
Yeah, let's do it. Nocturne is an Amazon original movie. Blumhouse and Amazon have had a deal. And, ooh, lots of piggies. I'm in the freezer, but you have to kill the guy in the butcher. Dude, I don't know how to kill him now, so I'm going to observe. He's British. Yeah, it's starring... Well, I only caught my attention because Sydney Sweeney, my future wife, call me Sydney, is in it.
Your fault.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
It was the one we used to do on the early ones.
It's like, come back home.
If you're listening to this, Sweeney, come home. We all miss you.
But yeah, Sydney Sweeney's in it, and I was like, oh, I'll give it a go. The trailer looks interesting. We watched it, and it was just mediocre, I think.
Yeah, it felt very surface level. It was an aesthetically pleasing, inoffensive movie, but it didn't feel like it had much to say outside of that.
Yes.
It didn't do anything particularly bad.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything like horrendously cringy, but there wasn't anything particularly standout.
As a directorial debut from the director, I think she did a good job. Like, as a Blumhouse movie, it looked...
we said it's visually really, really nice.
Yeah.
I still woun't... I don't know if I'd go as far as to say standout, but it's visually, like... It's above average, we'll say.
Yeah, it's not like bad by any means. It looks pretty, I think.
Some of the trippy transitions felt a little bit clunky at times.
Yeah.
Like she's seeing the sun with the things spiral around it, and it's clearly like exactly the same as the drawing book. And I was like, I get what you're going for, but like you could have done the same thing and had it be a bit more realistic, I guess.
Yeah.
Like it looked like it was just a copy of the one from the drawing book, but now animated.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we get to the premise. It's essentially about these 2 sisters who go to a music college. They both play piano, and Sydney Sweeney is getting very jealous of her sister, who's like really good at piano. And then she gets, she finds this book, his notebook that was left by this girl who was on their course, who died, who killed herself. And the book basically helps her get ahead, but it has some scary consequences.
Yeah, I said it's basically the plot of Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Yeah.
He just finds Snape's diary or something. It's been a while since I don't even know if I've seen that movie. I read the book. That's just how I remember it. But I read all the Harry Potter books back in the day, but I kind of gave up before the movies finished.
Yeah, I only read the first one.
Lost the vibe. But yeah, it's kind of just that, but the music version and less magical powers.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I don't know, like, it's left interpretable, I suppose. Did she gain her new skills from the book, or was that all psychological?
I was thinking about that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a bit up for interpretation, I think. Which is nice. I don't think it needs to be answered.
Yeah, I thought the performances were pretty good too.
Mostly, I think.
Well, I thought Sydney Sweeney's wasn't bad. It was okay. Madison Eisman, the sister, wasn't.
There was no offensively bad acting, but there were a few characters. Like the cool clique, like you said, with the sister and the boyfriend, I thought were a little bit mediocre.
Yeah, I don't think they were great.
I know that guy was on Society on Netflix, and we kind of said the same thing about
Yeah.
most people in that at the time.
Yeah, they weren't
So,
great. Sydney Sweeney was decent, but that's
sorry,
about it.
Society fans.
Just Joker fans.
I just like the idea that like anyone that is a big fan of like the Society and those kind of things would ever really have watched our podcasts anyway. Like even in the future, I don't think we market ourselves well to that crowd. We already
No.
shut Ratchet. They hate us, man.
No, I know.
I keep saying Ratchet with a T.
Ratchet.
Ratchet and Clank.
I genuinely don't know how to kill the guy who's killing these pigs. Oh, sorry, not killing them. He's doing all the meat shit.
The meat shit.
Oh, I've got a... Oh, someone's left some chocolate in my room. It's nice.
Yeah, the one thing I think Lucius suffers from is that it could do with more ways to kill people.
Yeah, just one set way, isn't it?
Yeah, if they had more of like a Hitman vibe where there was like 4 or 5 proper ways to kill them,
Yeah.
and you could get like different challenges and scores and stuff, that would have been cool.
Yeah, I'd like that.
You're hearing you Lucius developers, Lucius 4, make it happen. I know 2 and 3 were apparently garbage, but make 4 happen and make it good.
Yeah, it's just kind of this kind of like descent into her doing these things, like her sister ends up like breaking her arm. I think she falls on a pit, which is really funny because like she runs after her.
Yeah, it's really strange though, because like I think that scene was just overly lit, maybe not in the good way, in the lighting sense. Like it's the opposite of a badly lit scene. Is that scene could have done with being dimmer, because it just seemed laughable to me that she just ran straight past her. I'm like, she's right there, like you can see her. We as the audience can see her. What?
Yeah, I didn't know, like...
I didn't understand. I thought she intentionally ran past her until afterwards, where she's like, you could have stopped me, and I'm like, you could have stopped yourself. How did you not fucking see her? What?
Yeah, I agree. It was a little weird. That was a bit where we were literally like, what?
Yeah, because I didn't realize that was even what they were going for until like the end. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was meant to be invisible.
But and then like all these bits where she's getting like really angsty with the teacher and shit, and like
yeah, she becomes a dick like way too fast to be sympathetic to her. You're not like, oh, we're watching this once really sweet girl turn into now an absolute monster. Like she's sweet for about 3% of the movie, and the rest of the movie she's just a cunt to everyone around her and acts like she's better than them, and they're all like trash that should be wiped off her shoe. And it's like, oh well, yeah, we knew this was happening from like the 10-minute mark.
I think
so. Then at the end, where it's like, oh look, she's really evil now. It's like, no, yeah, we know she what.
Well, I think the issue was that we both said it after. It's like it would have been, because the movie's only about an hour and a half, but it could have done with like an extra half hour maybe.
We've said this with a few movies lately, and it's weird because we usually complain things are too long, but like, well, we never complain anything good's too long.
Like even just a few scenes.
There's a lot of things we've reviewed where we've said they're too long.
Yeah.
And the more common consensus nowadays has been that it could do with a little bit longer.
Well, just like even
especially on a streaming service, like.
Yeah, just like even like a few scenes, to fucking flesh it out a little bit. Even just her character, because she's the main one we follow. It can't be too much. I mean, I understand this is like a first-time directorial debut, but like, and it's good for what it is. It could just do with a bit of fucking
carry those boxes to
the
freezer.
I don't know.
They're not too heavy.
Fucking. I'm supposed to give this guy the light bulb, but he won't take it. Just take the fucking light bulb.
Hey, Lucius, I need to keep working. I don't have time.
Have the
to
light
play
bulb.
with you,
Take
mate.
the fucking
I don't
light
have
bulb,
time
you
to play
piece
with
of
you,
shit.
mate. Hey, Lucius, I need to keep working here.
I'm giving you a light bulb. He's going, Lucius, I'm trying to work here. I'm trying to work here, Lucius. Just take
Now
the
that you're
fucking
here,
light bulb.
You can carry those boxes to the freezer.
I've
You
carried
want
all
from
the
me, man? Just take the fucking light bulb, man.
I don't have time to play with you, lad.
Right. He sounds like Penguin from the Batman games. Okay, this is not enough, Penguin. He's doing my head in.
Oh, there's an Enderman in my house.
Okay. I do it. Oh, there we are. Oh, he can see me doing it. I didn't do that. That wasn't me.
What the hell? Why'd that damn lamp explode? How can I use a
How did he
sword
die?
if I can't see nothing?
Oh, he's not dead yet. I brought the lamp and I was go find me a
some
new
lamps,
lamp.
will ya? I
Yeah.
need to keep work. Thanks.
I've,
Get your lamp.
now what do
Go
I
and
do?
get your own lamp.
Do I stab him? Oh, he's fixing the lamp. Do I get a knife and kill him? What does it say in my book? No, wrong one. I think the
River's
giant-
bad, okay?
He has climbed top of the saw. This is my chance. Silly bastard.
Come on. Why isn't this going?
What you like?
Guess he used telekinesis on the
See, righty
lamp?
tighty.
The saw? Okay, well it's not working. Oh, there's a switch there. Do I throw something at it? I'm trying to use my
Play
telekinesis.
Mario. Hahaha. Comedy.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot to say about this movie. I think it's going to be very forgettable.
Lefty loosey, righty
Yeah,
tighty.
that was what I was like. Let's do it first.
It just doesn't. It's just not. You know, I wouldn't say don't watch. I think there's some really good stuff in it. It's just not too compelling. Not too compelling.
Reddit / there was an attempt.
There was an attempt, yeah.
Come
I'd be
Just the
intrigued to
attempt.
see. Yeah, I'd be intrigued to see what else Blumhouse are doing with Amazon, but yeah,
Hmm.
I can't reach the.
Absolutely adored it,
Yes,
which I was surprised at.
Empire gave it like. What did they give it? I can't remember what they gave it. I think they gave it like 4 or 5 stars. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, they're like, it's such a haunting depiction of
I mean-
blah blah blah, and I was like,
I mean, it's Empire. It's a fucking Empire.
Yeah.
Empire are jokes.
maybe we're spoiled by movies like Snow Hollow that had just ruined our expectations.
Yes. Well, that's a nice segue into Snow Hollow.
Indeed.
Um,
Jim,
I
Jim,
love-
Jim, 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 Jim.
Jim Cummings, you are a fucking legend, my
Why
son.
isn't this going in?
We're very big fans of Thunder
We
Road.
stand
Righty
Jim
We s-
Cummings in
We
this.
do stand Jim Cummings, yes. He did Thunder Road, which was a great fucking film.
I genuinely am not exaggerating. I said this to you on Messenger. Might actually be my top movie of the decade so far, of like the 2020s.
Oh,
Like, it was really high for me. Certainly top 5, if nothing else. Like, I fucking loved Thunder Road.
Yeah, it's very good. I would recommend anyone watching that.
And as I
Well-
said to you, to me, I thought this was very close.
Yes. I definitely preferred Thunder Road to Snow Hollow, but Snow Hollow is probably one of my favourite movies of the year.
Yeah, I think Thunder Road is a movie that, one of the rare movies I gave a 10 to. And this, I think, would possibly also even be a 10.
Yeah. Oh, I've done it! Fucking did it! I don't have it equipped! For fuck's sake! For fuck's sake! Ah. Okay. Snow Hollow. Wolf
Snow Hollow.
Very different movie, but it's not at the same time to Thunder Road.
Yeah, it's yeah, it's hard to explain, but that's pretty fucking close.
Yeah.
It's tonally very Thunder Road, but then also tonally not, because that makes perfect sense.
The main character, who Jim Cummings plays, is very similar to the character he plays in the first movie. Like, he's a cop, he's kind of got a lot of issues, you know, a lot of stuff on his head, and he kind of like
Like a
takes
more
out on...
warped version of that character.
Yes. And he takes out a lot on the people he works with, and all that. It's very good in that way. I'll give a quick preface of the movie. There's this very small little town, this little mountain town, called Snow Hollow, and a few people are murdered by what the police think is a wolf, like a werewolf. And it's about the police trying to find this wolf, and Jim Cummings' character is kind of the heart of it. And it kind of sets it up as it's this werewolf horror movie, which is what I thought from the trailer. Like, oh wow, this is a very different tone. And I mean, fuck it, let's get into spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, kind of think we have to, really.
Yeah, there isn't a wolf. It's basically just some guy who does taxidermy, and he's fucking insane and dresses up like a wolf and kills people. And
it's basically, to me, it was a kind of twist on an earlier line in the actual movie where he says about the werewolf myth, and he's like, they created all of these ideas because they found mutilated bodies of women all torn to shreds, and they couldn't believe a man was capable of it.
Yeah.
So they created a monster, but it wasn't. It was just man.
Yeah.
And that was basically what the twist was at the end. It is actually just man. It's just the people are capable of these things, I suppose.
People like to put blame on stuff, and
But then it had a kind of double meaning in there because it was actually kind of talking about things relating to gender a little bit as well.
Yeah.
So it was man in the sense of humanity, but then it was also man in the sense of man.
And
so it was interesting because we're not usually too. Well, we have no issue with messages in movies. I think most of the movies we love are movies with socio-political messages, but lately a lot of them have been very clunky.
You know.
So it was nice to get a very clear-cut message that was subtly interwoven into the story in a way that still let it be its own story.
Yeah.
Like, we had to look into a lot of things afterwards and rethink about scenes to be like, oh yeah, because that relates to, and that relates to that, oh yeah, da-da-da. And we really liked that. The message is a good message,
It's subtle, yet very...
And it's a message that it's shown in a way that it shows both sides. It shows how, like, obviously the message is basically about toxic masculinity, but it shows how those kind of things can affect negatively both men and women. It's not just demonizing men on the whole. It's not saying all men are bad. It's saying, this kind of attitude can lead to negative impacts on everybody.
Yeah.
Like, you see it with the dad character, played by the late, great Falstaff. Forgot his first name.
Fuck. I
Yeah.
have to. Fuck.
Michael
Foster. Something like that, yeah.
Put it on screen.
Yeah. I mean, that was what's interesting, because a lot of the movie is more about him and his relationship with his daughter, and you kind of forget it's a werewolf. Well, it's not a werewolf movie, but it's from one point you're thinking, it's a werewolf horror movie, and then it starts going towards family drama, and that's probably one of the more interesting things about it.
Yeah, the beast is kind of like a backdrop.
Yeah,
and I think obviously it's kind of metaphorical as well, which is why some of the scenes kind of mirror what's happening in his life.
And by the time you get to finding out who the killer is, I mean, I don't know about you, but I wasn't expecting it to be a big twist villain. I just thought, I don't care at this point, to be honest, because I don't think that's part of what the...
Yeah, I don't know. I think for a little while we thought it was just going to be like a twist where we found out he'd been doing it and there was no wolf. It was just his kind of added, him imagining himself as a beast.
Yeah.
But then obviously it was different than that. But I think that was still obviously the metaphorical message we were getting, is that there's a comparison to be drawn between how he was acting with like his anger issues and his alcohol issues and this monstrous beast.
Yeah.
That can be inside anyone, was the point, I think.
Yes. And it's really expertly done.
Why do I always...
I couldn't give this film any more credit if I tried. I think I was a little confused, because he's going, because his daughter basically is on a date with a guy, and the werewolf attacks them in a car, and he doesn't believe the wolf's a thing, and then he ends up getting to the scene, and he sees that there is a werewolf, or what looks like a werewolf, the guy's in the costume, and then
yeah, it's a crazy good costume.
Yes, it was very good, and then I can't remember, but isn't it the next scene they're like, oh yeah, it wasn't a wolf or something, we found this and that, and then he's like, but he saw it as a wolf.
Guy, there's the guy that obviously,
I'm lost.
I think he killed himself, didn't he? And they thought it was him, so they found the trailer, and they were like, oh yeah, we found the guy, but we didn't find his suit or something. So it's implied that obviously he did mention to them that he'd seen some beastie.
Yes.
But I guess it was just, they all just automatically assumed it was a suit.
Yeah, I was...
Which makes sense, because in real life you wouldn't be like, oh yeah, it's a werewolf.
I guess at that point at the end he's like, oh yeah, it must have been a guy in a suit. Because he doesn't really think, oh, it's a werewolf. I think he must have seen it and be like, oh, it's a guy in a suit. Maybe? I don't know.
Looney? What you doing? Get off my daughter.
Fucking furry.
That's the real metaphor. Jim Cummins is going to go into our comment section and be like, guys, you got it all wrong. I'm just anti-furry.
This is about furry genocide.
It's like, I just want them dead.
I'm really fucking lost. Holy shit. So it's not a horror film as such. I think it's marketed like one, but I like it that it subverts your expectations a bit if you have seen the marketing. You hadn't seen the marketing, had you? So
yes, I avoided it because I wanted a fresh experience. I said that with a P and a H, but I realised that nobody else knew what the fuck I was doing, so it just sounded like a retarded way of saying fresh.
Fresh.
I was like, a fresh take.
How in the fuck did I get here? I don't understand what's going on. Ooh, panties.
Desmond the Moonbat.
Yeah, I genuinely think it's one of my favourite films of the year. I mean, there's not been many good movies. I've seen a few, but it's up there.
I think it's definitely mine. I can't think of anything else.
Oh, there we are.
What else have we liked this year a lot?
I'm not sure.
That came out this year. After Midnight. After Midnight would be probably...
Yeah, that's a film.
Maybe
actually
tied for me? I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it. I'd have to watch them close together to really compare them. They're very different movies.
Yeah.
They're very similar movies, but they're very different movies.
I've watched a few films. I watched I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which is really good. I watched Feels Good Man, which is also really good. I watched The Trial of Chicago 7, which is also really good. So they're probably all up there. You're sorry?
I just said intrigue.
Quite easy
Yeah,
to
most of
find.
the stuff I've watched this year hasn't come out this year, which is why I was struggling to think. I was like, oh, well, I enjoyed that. I was like, no, that wasn't a 2020 movie. Oh, I really liked that. No, that wasn't a 2020 movie.
Yeah, it's been quite bare.
Yeah, most of the stuff I've watched movie-wise has just been what we've talked about on the channel.
Yeah.
So most of that, I think, was from previous years, because we took this whole pandemic biz as an opportunity to catch up on some stuff, really, didn't we?
Yeah. There's been
obviously, my favourite movie would have been Jacob's Ladder 2019, but sadly it was a year too early. So
that fantastic movie. Absolutely quality.
Banger.
Fucking love it.
Get off my floor. I can't build while you're there. Go away.
But yeah, I'd say that's up there. I mean, I imagine obviously when the year's done, we'll talk about our faves.
Year in review.
I don't know why we wouldn't, but I think this is up there absolutely. It's a very well made movie. Jim Cummins is a god. I've made a tweet about Thunder Road and Snow Hollow, and he's liked both of them. He's a good lad.
He is.
He's very in touch with his audience, which is really nice.
Yes, he always shows off a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff as well. Talks about the actual getting out there and building something from scratch without much budget.
Yeah.
And I think that's always very inspiring to see. Very similar to Mike Flanagan in that regards, who we'll probably talk about next week.
Yes.
Maybe if we've watched all of it by then, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean,
Gonna watch Blind Manor, guys.
Yeah, I need to watch Haunted Hill House as well.
We'll do Blind Manor for...
We were also thinking of maybe talking about a couple of classic horrors, which we could do next week. Because there's a couple that we were on about watching, if we can get them fitting. Like Halloween and American Werewolf in London.
Oh yes.
So we'll see. I do not know who I'm supposed to kill in this mission, but I'm just going to run around the house.
Murder everything.
Yes, that's the plan. I genuinely have no idea. This house is such a fucking maze. I'll find it.
Yeah, summarise, I think I don't think there's much to dislike about Snow Hollow, really. I think the performances were pretty much bang on all around.
Yeah, it's funny as hell. It's so fucking funny. His humour is so bang on.
Yeah.
Like, it's so funny. Like,
It's
both
like
films.
this weird kind of dark, real humor where it's funny, but then it's also kind of sad.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this is funny because I can relate to that, and then you're like, oh my god, it's sad that I relate to that. And
It's where
sad
he's
that
like
this is happening to
slapping
this
the doctor guy, you know, who looks after the bodies.
They have the little
Murders.
wrestle on the floor, and then he breaks
Yeah.
his arm. And he gets his tooth knocked out, which is when he's
Yeah.
pulling it out on the floor.
It's just so bizarre, but it's just it's funny, but it's sad because you can see his descent and how bad things are for him. And it's a very good film. I'd urge you all to watch it. I'm sure we both would. And if you haven't watched Thunder Road, I think Thunder Road is on Netflix actually now.
Oh.
I think
Let's get them both watched. I think Ricky Lindholm was kind of the breakout.
Yeah, she was good in that.
He was kind of like the understated character. I think that was the point of the roles. She was kind of holding everything together while everyone else was falling apart.
Yeah, she was really good in it. I think all the performances was really good.
Was the is it Robert Forrester?
Oh, Robert Forrester, yeah, I forgot to use his last role, I think.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier. Oh, are we cutting that?
Oh, you did, sorry, yeah.
So we're trying to
remember
his
his fucking name, couldn't we? Yeah, Robert Forrester, yeah.
But I think he was fantastic. She was fantastic. Obviously, Cummings himself, always a good boy.
Yep.
Very good movie all around. Good performances. Some really interesting editing.
Yeah.
I thought the music was fantastic. The sound design was even better. There were some really, really interesting sound design choices where certain things would kind of emphasize what was happening in the character. Obviously, the go-to one was like the kettle sound that we all pointed out.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of other ones like that were worth listening out for. There's certain things that kind of just give you a little background indication of what's happening.
I think it was shot really well.
It was.
To boot it all off, yeah.
An all-round clanger.
An all-round clanger, yes. Without a doubt. Yeah. Haven't got much more to say on it, really. Just a very good movie. I would recommend to a friend.
Which friend?
Reese is next door, I'll ask him. Oh, you watched it with us, never mind.
He was there. Bless him.
My bad.
Being forgotten already.
Yeah. I guess that does it.
Yeah, we'll try and get something watched for next week. Maybe Bly Manor. If not, we'll see.
I've just realised I've got a map that's telling me where to go, and I've been walking around this whole time.
No, Sam, you've got to avoid maps, remember?
Oh yeah. Well, I've been avoiding it so far, but yes.
Okay, good.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
See you all next time.
Sorry, Lucius.
Bye.